Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Buy Box Bandits podcast. We apologize for the month-long hiatus.
We're back.
We were very busy. We're back. We'll have weekly episodes. Getting into 2023, we're going to do an episode that's our 2023 recap as well. 2022 recap. Stuff we want to do in 2023. We want to talk more Q4 recap. We got some of the homies here with us, Billy and Jimmy as well. Got Garrett on too, which is great. Right here, we're going to be talking about how we executed Q4 and did over $1 million in sales combined here. Just the guys you're looking at in the past, 27th when we're recording this, 26th, yeah, past month. Okay, Jimmy, they do not know you. Introduce yourself.
What's up, gang? I'm Jimmy. I started like 6 months ago and did 200 grand in sales this month.
This month. Yeah, dropped out of college too. Another one. Billy dropped out of college since you guys last saw him too.
Good body, finally making his appearance on the pod. Long overdue.
I know.
I think a lot of the listeners definitely know who he is, though. Just he's roadmap.
Yeah.
How long has it been, Miles? When was our last?
We last recorded November 9th. I just checked before we were hopping on. Yes, it's been a little while. The longest hiatus we'll take, though. We're back. If you guys haven't, get a free trial of SellerAmp, sponsor of the show. SellerAmp.com, SellerAMP.com. Can you sell it? Does it sell? Is it profitable? Answer all those three questions. Since we last talked, the mobile app is out as well. So definitely get that download. It's included with the subscription as well. But okay. So gents, this was your guys, Jimmy and Billy boys, first December. So first Q4 in general. What did you expect? How did it differ from what came up and all that?
Jimmy, you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I kind of expected toys, particularly Legos, to do the best because everyone on Twitter and in Discord talks about, oh, I got to buy a ton of Legos for Q4. I'm going to buy a ton of toys. But in reality, it's just the normal, average, giftable stuff that does the best or sells more. And that's kind of what I observed. So, yeah. What about you, Bill?
That was your main takeaway? I mean, you definitely had some other experiences too that you can talk about.
I mean, just buying a ton. Like, I did over leverage quite a bit. I think at least me and you, Billy, kind of did. And
definitely.
Yeah.
Did you, in terms of what you were seeing, call it September, October, November, was there a steep increase in demand in December? Or where do you think that demand really picked up?
For me personally, I think it was mid-November, but I mean, I saw the opposite like 5 days before Christmas. Like I was doing 10, 15K days, and then December like 21st hit, and I was down to like $500, $200 days. I tanked. So.
And we'll get into that. And so Billy's been talking like internally in our group that his sales have been crazy the past couple of days. But historically, what I think Miles would agree, I've seen like leading up to Christmas and like 2 days, 3 days before Christmas, including Christmas, sales kind of drop off because Amazon makes such a big deal about your items will not be here before Christmas, right? And so many consumers kind of shift their perspective to going out to stores because they got to get those last minute gifts, those last minute things. So I think a lot of the kind of decrease in sales is kind of related to, consumers desperate going in stores and looking for those last things.
I don't think it is that much. It's all about the quality of your inventory stock.
Yeah.
Like a couple of those. Yeah. See, Billy knows. Yeah.
Look, so like my sales have been good because I held on to a lot of stuff and I also didn't list a ton of things. And then I priced down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sell this stuff through, and I'm still making, $15-20 a unit on some of these things. But I don't know, Jimmy, the reason his sales went down the last couple of days because he ran out of inventory.
Yeah, I did too.
So I mean that's my main takeaway was, I mean, I knew coming in it was going to be crazy volume. Things were great in terms of deals. Like Black Friday, that whole week is just, there's so much stuff to buy, and then middle of December, early December, prices go up $4 or $5 on a lot of SKUs. So I think for me, it was just, I didn't have my finances in order. I know we worked some stuff out with I think all three of you guys helped me out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I find a way to make that work, but I would say definitely am going to get that stuff really buckled down for next year when it's time to go big, just because there's
But
so much opportunity.
Would
yeah,
you say it was busier or less busy than you expected, based on what everyone was kind of perceiving leading up to it? How would you think what in reality it was
you
compared to
were
what people were saying?
shocked.
No, no,
Shocked.
that is not true. The
Oh my
reason,
dude,
okay, well that
Billy was
happened because of
Billy was lacking a lot of cognitive function the first couple days of it heavy. Like
There
this
was like a
5th
3-4 day
to the
stretch where
10th.
Billy
okay.
couldn't even comprehend what was
Yeah,
going on. It
couldn't
was like
make the sentence. Like
If you
weren't
want a
sleeping?
full explanation, we can
You
do
were
that right now.
sleeping in the prep. Jimmy was sleeping in the prep.
Well,
Like,
no, that's Andrew. That was Andrew who fell
yeah,
asleep on the floor. But yeah, there was that 3-day period where things were very hectic. I think it was definitely probably the amount of volume I expected. I just over the weekend had some issues with purchasing shipping. Somebody flaked on me. And then I also didn't have any boxes, right? So I had probably 200 to 300 orders that were merchant fulfilled over the weekend, and I didn't have the supplies to pack them up, right? And then I got my labels Monday or Tuesday at the start of that week, but still had to, you know, go through and prepare all those individual shipments. And 300 is it's a lot. And then also, you know, still wanting to be buying stuff and then doing some other jobs that I do as well on the side. It was just a big whirlwind of stuff that I wasn't prepared for. So that, I mean, it's just not having the supplies. And then, I mean, that was the biggest part, but yeah, so I
and
think
so I think
getting
go ahead.
people to help you too, you know, if you're really going
Yeah.
to plan
oh
on doing
yeah,
a ton of
it's
volume,
crazy. Like,
you know, get the boys in, you know, make
yeah,
make it clear to them like how things are going to go, like if you want to do a per unit basis or pay them hourly or whatever.
yeah, for
And then
sure.
having a good space and making everything more predictable is good. I think
Crazy
I
what
know,
what live bodies can do. Like in like
yeah,
a couple hours, like it's crazy.
yeah. But
Then reality, like you can pay someone $15, $20 to just do what you say, and shit just gets done. Like it just
Miles, are you
done.
still contracting out, or have they been laid off the flips from
No,
Miles?
no, we'll be in there in the trenches. I've been. It was honestly great reconnecting with some of my high school friends too. Like it's super fun.
Yeah, I was at
so
this
much
dude's
quicker.
warehouse, and he'd be in the back corner prepping or doing whatever with these guys, and it's just like genuine networking. Like, so like what you've been doing after high school? Like we haven't talked in a while. It's just
I mean, that's
genuine
amazing though,
communication.
right? That's the dream right
So
there.
just in terms of breaking down, like I don't think Q4 is really even like it should just be basically December, Black Friday on, right? Black Friday is when you start buying. December 5th is when stuff starts detonating. And then it pretty much like the peak days I'd say are like the 7th to the 17th probably. For the YouTube viewers, I'll show my sales in terms of like the distribution of days. Jimmy's were very similar as well. But you guys can see it peaked right there in mid December as well.
Yeah.
480. Might have to audit the repricer tonight. See if so we got 5 days left. And oh no, that's my trailing 30 this month. Oh, this month I'm not gonna hit 500. I don't think that's tragic. Right there, all the people on TikTok are telling me I don't actually sell Nike stuff. It's crazy.
That's wild.
People on the TikTok.
And so that's actually, so I think one of the big misconceptions about Q4 is, and Jimmy kind of hit on it in the beginning, is that you have to kind of completely shift what you have always done, right? Completely shift your strategy, completely shift your perspective. When in reality, and you guys can probably agree on this since you've been through it, is it's just do more of what you've been doing, right? Do more, double down, triple down on what has been successful for you in the first 3 quarters, and you will see extraordinarily increased success in December and so on and so forth. Is that kind of what you saw in your
And
first
then like
Q4?
finding ways to optimize it, make it easier
Yeah.
for yourself. And then and you can't plan for that stuff until you do it, right? Like that's what people get wrong, is you gotta do the trench work, and I'm happy to do it. So I know Jimmy had a few, you know, 12-hour days where he's just prepping units and
Good. That builds character.
yeah, it does. It does.
Like
It
I've
does.
ever seen someone be successful that when I tell them about it, asks how much time does it take.
Right.
Like
Correct.
the goal is the results. Like people are so conditioned with like all these like viral invest, like don't trade your time for money. Dude, trade your time for money. Like you need the money to start, you know?
And it's the whole instant
You
gratification, right?
build
Instant
leverage
reward.
as you go. But yeah, like you need to, like, what else are you gonna do with your time? Like you know, like there'll be people in my Instagram DMs like, I don't have time to FDM. Dude, how do you have time to go to work then? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like, and
Like, how do you have time to watch Netflix at night
yeah,
or all this
yeah. I mean,
crap?
obviously, like we're, you know, and such, but no, it's a lot of good stuff with FBM and all that's beauty, right? We'd be on Zoom, find a SKU, you have it in within a few days, you're already selling it, you're already tested it, you're already replenishing it, and stuff. So something we all kind of jam on privately when we're talking is the networking side of things. How do you, Billy, Jimmy, how do you guys think about that? Because it's been something that's obviously benefited us all to the tune of all of us over 10K profit on the same items we all buy together each the past month on a few things.
Billy, want to go?
Sure. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, right? I mean, it's invaluable. You know, it's probably something that everyone wishes that they have, but you know, most people are probably lacking a good community of people that are supporting them. And I would say the best way to, you know, find people you really jive with is to, again, just do the work. And
Exists.
if people see
Talk
you,
about it and
if
talk
people
about it.
see you trying, see you putting in effort consistently, they will respect that. And that's going to make them want to work with you. The best way to make friends is to provide value yourself, right? Like you're not going to, granted, this is a very, you know, it's a very nice community of people that are all willing to help you. But at the end of the day, if you bring something to the table, you know, that's the best way to get involved. And you're not going to get there unless you do the work yourself, start trying things yourself, you know, and then document your journey. If people see you putting in the work, see you staying consistent, you know, they're going to know it's not going to go unnoticed. So I think that's, you know, everyone wants to have a good group of friends, but your main focus should be what can
No,
I
they
do
don't
today?
actually want it because they would do
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
They would do
right.
something
No,
if
I
they wanted to, you know?
I think the difference is they want our group of friends, right? They don't want any group of friends, right?
I
So
don't
obviously we
know.
all talk
I
about
don't
some
know
of the
about
things we
that,
do,
but
and they,
yeah.
no, I see tweets all the time like, "Oh, how can I get involved with you guys? How can I get invited
Yeah,
to the
and then
Zoom
you go
calls?"
to
All
their
these sorts of
profile
things.
and it'll be like November 13th, they retweeted something about politics, and then
NFT giveaway.
and then January of 2019 is their previous tweet. It was something about like the Atlanta Braves. Like I just got a DM from a dude on Twitter that was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I have time." And then I go to his timeline and his bio, he has sports team in the bio. That's a huge red flag. Sports team in bio is a huge red flag. But it's just priorities, man. You know, on stuff because like
Well,
that's is that the whole goal of doing this is to free your time, right? I think online arbitrage is a great way to make 50 to 200K a year and a miserable way to make beyond that, unless you have an inherent competitive advantage, a great network, sales tax advantage, a ton of capital, a ton of time, different things like that, which we are all lucky to have multiple of those and such. But the whole goal of it is to get your time back so you can focus on higher leverage things, right? Private label, wholesale, social media, software, different type of business. X, Y,
real
Z,
estate.
whatever on that, but you have to go through that initial process and understand that you're on a journey. And if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, the way we all have, you can build something pretty cool over time. And it takes a while, right?
Yeah.
You know, it took me a couple of years to really figure it out. It's much easier to get started now than it used to be. So if you're listening to this and you haven't gotten started, get started, but you just got to put one foot in front of the other. Like this man, Billy, had $300 to his name this time, and he spent it all on an LLC.
Literally. No, I spent every dollar I had to go to Miami. I spent everything I had to buy the roadmap when it first came
I
out.
made you sell the Patagonia.
Yeah, like I've sold pairs of my shoes on eBay. I sold my Xbox. Like I was in the trenches,
Fair
man.
though. Yeah, you definitely, yeah, delete Snapchat too, by the way, if you're listening.
Yeah. And put your phone in grayscale too.
Yeah,
I just
great.
did
Yeah,
that.
we'll
Are,
delete
are
Snapchat,
you are you in
delete
grade school, Billy?
all social
I
media.
just went back. Yeah. It's the way to go. It
Yeah,
is.
like that's what I try to tell people.
I
Yeah.
am not in grade school. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, right, we haven't seen anyone that's been in this game for more than, call it 8, 10, 12 months that isn't successful, right? People who are talking about this thing last year at this time nowadays is doing $1 million a year. I mean, it's just inevitable once you have enough at bats, once you've been in the game, and once you just start talking about it. right? Because then, as you talk about, as we kind of talked about in the recently, right, the organic kind of group of friends originates, right? And whoever that is, however that is, right, you organically and naturally develop your friends who are doing the same sorts of things, right, just based on how you are as a person. And that's kind of when that synergy develops and that kind of boosts you.
But so many of you guys that are trying to talk about it on Instagram and Twitter, there's zero personality in it. Your face isn't showing. No one hears your voice. It's just like pictures of boxes and stuff. So they're like, of course, no one's going to relate to you because they don't have the chance to, because you're hiding from them. You're doing most of it, but you're not doing the part that all the winners do, which is like really you don't have to, but like you got to do something that show. You just got to be like, you just got to exist. And don't make content unless you're already making a lot of money. Just exist. Talk about what you're doing. Learn in public. Post a picture here and there. Exist. Because then you're going to have questions for Billy, questions for Jimmy, questions for me or Warner or Garrett, right? And you get a higher level of answer if we can see that you're putting in the work, whether or not that's
I think that was one of the things that I messed up on in the beginning is I didn't start putting out content. And Miles, we talked about this, and until I started making a lot of money.
Once I was on your ass, I remember.
Like for me, it was like make a lot of money on Amazon, then start talking about how I made a lot of money.
That's different. How versus here's what I'm doing versus here what you should do is a very different equation. Yeah,
the documenting model is unmatched. Nobody can question you. It's like, go look at my post from last year. You'll see
it's the transparency. The transparency builds trust.
Yeah, I would say if that's where you are, make the videos for yourself, not for anyone else. Do it as something that you can go back and watch and be proud of, and just be transparent. Use it as like a form of therapy almost. Like, you might not have people around you that are going to listen to the things that you're saying. So use it as an outlet to get your message across, and then you'll find people that will rock with you, make some friends that want to have the same goals that you do. Because that's probably a problem for a lot of people, is their immediate friend group isn't supporting just
doesn't know
their
about
job or getting out of school.
You shouldn't expect them to,
So
it's a very different life path.
Speaking of which, Jimmy, what are you drinking right now? Is that Orange Crush?
No. That's
yeah, same thing.
No.
Anyways, kind of getting back to the whole Q4 thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys, in terms of any notes or takeaways or reference points or things you can do better for next Q4, have you referenced anything, documented anything in terms of putting into action for next Q4 where you can be more prepared about it?
I definitely want to have a commercial space at some point next year. And then, throughout the year, I'll definitely be focusing on what can I delegate and outsource, because I definitely realized, like, okay, I'm losing money by doing this stuff, like the prepping.
But at that point, it was too late to do anything about it.
Yeah, right. But that's a good thing.
Hourly was so much higher,
Yeah, but that's how it should be, right? Like, you're not.
Yes.
That's how it should be.
Higher.
You want to go outsource stuff when you physically are losing money because you're not.
Yeah.
It pains you.
And there's no point in doing it any time before that.
Yeah, because you're looking for problems that don't exist yet.
Yes.
Like,
and trying to plan for things that you haven't experienced.
Yeah,
like
the dude who's working at Arby's, who's in my DM talking about stuff being scalable, dude. Like, it just makes no sense, to worry about that. Like, just focus on the problem right in front of you. Step over it and then keep moving. That's what we all did. Like, scroll back on my Instagram. Like, I got a Snapchat memory, and yes, I logged into Snapchat. I had to get some help for the warehouse.
That's okay.
I know. They're all unsubscribing. They're all disliking the episode. And I got a Snapchat memory of me doing some books 3 years ago in 2019 in my dorm room here. And then I am significantly farther along than I expected to be 3 years later, and we'll continue to make, hopefully.
Miles,
that was the obstacle that was in front of me at the time.
Can we talk about publicly the initial Snapchat hiring experience?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
With Dan and us three involved last in regards to the warehouse, perhaps never mind.
Oh no, we don't need to. I mean, it's like wasn't that bad of a situation, it just wasn't.
No.
I think another thing for Q4 that I noticed, and something I want to do differently, was everyone was talking about this huge December 1st cutoff. And I got that fear.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, that's the biggest. Yeah,
Oh,
that was just the biggest lie. You know, I answered this. I answered that so many times. Like, and I'm over here trying to get people to make money today with FBM rather than making, you know, I'd rather you make $10 today than $7 3 weeks from now. Personally, I know crazy to some people to recommend that, but yeah. I mean, I shipped some stuff in like the 10th and it's like already sold out. You know, like they were great with check-in times the whole month.
I mean, people were talking about like Amazon wouldn't exist in January. Like worst case scenario, stuff doesn't get checked in. What is it? It's not going to sell in January.
No, that's why I just say just FBM it. You know, we're obviously, you know.
No, but if they were, for whatever reason, if they were FBAing, they were asking, you know, what's the latest date? I'm like, there is no like wait, like
it doesn't matter.
Like unless you're selling like some like ridiculous seasonal item, like slather maybe. No, not even that. Like something insanely seasonal that needs to be there. Unless it's that, then it doesn't matter.
Are you, Billy and Jimmy, are you guys still FBMing or are you guys back to FBA, or what's kind of the game plan moving forward?
Yeah, I have I probably got like 150 orders that I'm gonna go finish up after this, and then I'm gonna send the rest. I probably got like 500 other units in my little warehouse area in my crib that I'm gonna send FBA. And then I think I'm just gonna do
the garage.
Yeah. And then well, kind of, pretty much. And then do mostly maybe do one more big FBA shipment from where I am now, but mostly do prep center for
Chad Costa Rica excursion.
Yeah, and then I think I'm gonna get out of here next month.
We're not gonna talk on it yet, but Camp Flips for Miles is happening next month as well. So
yeah, I'm gonna book that as well, and then look into.
Well, you don't need to book anything because Daddy Flips is taking care of the.
Oh, are you buying my my train ticket too?
Train.
If we hadn't lost all our other viewers, any other viewer we had remaining just signed off when Miles referred to himself as Daddy Flips.
I like Uncle Flips better. Yeah.
Yeah, you're Uncle Flips. I'm Pop.
Jimmy, are you merchant fulfilling now? Are you FBAing 100%?
Or Chad FBA?
So to go back to the Q4 thing really quick, and the reason why I'm not going to FBM anymore, or I guess FBA myself, with the December 1st cutoff, I thought I needed to get everything in before December 1st. And so I sent everything, which was more expensive, to my taxed state for me to prep myself so I can get it in before December 1st. Because my prep center, you know, there's entropy there. It might take a bit longer or shorter or whatnot. And so looking back, I should have done the cheaper option through the prep center, but also the like more sane option for myself. And I guess from now on, I'm just going to prep center, try to buy my time more. I'm moving into wholesale and especially private label right now. So prepping is kind of the bottom of my priorities for FBA, and FBM kind of done till next December. So that's kind of my plan.
Yeah.
And Miles?
Yeah.
Are you 100% FBA again?
Yeah. No, I have like 100. I'm getting like 20 FBM sales a day, and that's, you know, that'll continue hopefully in perpetuity, but or at least the next couple weeks. But yeah, FBA, I did 900 units the other day. Gonna do a couple thousand this week. I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Miles is always shady about his merchant fulfilled orders.
It's the best, dude. Selling stuff. I gotta like force these people to make money, you know, like with the FBM sauce. I love it. It's like really stressful though. I kept meaning to make a vlog in the warehouse of like, but what I was doing was I would wake up, drive over to warehouse, USPS would do the pickup at 8, go and get the USPS bags at 11, then UPS pickup at night, and do a second USPS drop off in the day. So I was doing 3 pickups a day. I probably did about 8,000 FBM orders so far this month.
Yeah.
And I probably end up
the Flips for Miles agenda was wake up, drive to the warehouse, call Garrett to ask him to come to the warehouse.
Just to hang out, not to help though. Just
right. Yes.
Those pickups are clutch though.
Clutch. Oh my god. Yeah.
Without those, man.
Dude, it'd be hours extra a day. Yeah, for you guys listening, if you go on pirateship.com, you can get $3.80 UPS pickups. They actually used to be free. They're not anymore. You want to do it through Pirate Ship though, because they're $4 on there rather than being $20 on UPS.com. And USPS pickups are free. You can Google USPS pickups and find it. Typically, they'll pick up on their normal route they go past your house or whatever. But you can get special ones as well where they're sending the whole truck. I was filling up whole trucks with like 11 bags.
Yeah, I filled up an entire mail truck once with all that.
And-
But I'm gonna remove the chance of anyone sending us a DM about Pirate Ship saying that it doesn't work. And we'll say when you make an account, add a payment method to the website, then you'll be able to request a pickup. So don't DM any of us saying I don't know how I can't find the request a pickup button. Add a payment method first.
No, DM
Because
Jimmy.
what was it like?
Yeah.
It was like $4 or $5, $3, something like that.
Yeah, $3.80,
Yeah.
which is so
$3.
fun. It's like
Yeah.
10% of the cost. Yeah, it's really, really good. So yeah, a big point I just want to come back to is that what you do in December is just what you do all year, just more of it, right?
Yep.
People who do the best with toys during December, they sell a lot of toys year round, right? So that's why I recommend in terms of just December and such. Like I just telling people like crazy, like, oh, when are we gonna start worrying about toys? Dude, forget toys. Like you can just make more doing what you're already doing with less work and less input and more output, right? So that's what I like. Okay. So the person
So before we move on though, like on top of that, you have such an advantage on continuing to sell the stuff that you've been selling, right? You're engraved in the buy box rotation. If not, you're increasing as you've been in stock, right? You have longevity on those SKUs. So just continuing to sell those SKUs, you're just exponentially growing your business as opposed to taking the risk and widening your spread, going on new SKUs, where you have to compete with new sellers and you don't necessarily know what's the result of a new algorithm, right? And so just continuing to work with what works, it can't be understated.
Also, if you're new and you're just getting started and maybe you don't have it, you're not sitting on a ton of cash, you don't have the luxury of being speculative with stuff. Like you just need to do what works. Do what you're told.
That's a bar right there.
That's a
Like,
tweet.
Yeah, just like don't be like, oh, this toy might go out of stock when you've done like 5K in sales last month.
Yeah,
like,
you don't need to worry about that. You know, you can just
do the work.
What you already
Do
did.
the work.
Yeah, and it's take safe bets too. You know, like you earn the right with more capital and such.
Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, the basics, the best people you guys see with this that do way more than we do, like they're all really good at the basics. Like they just check the different boxes, they show up every day, they know the right people and such. And it was cool expanding the catalog a little bit. Like some of those bolos and stuff really did nice. And then one night we stayed up buying a bolo for a few hours on a Zoom call and ended up not doing that well. Like it still made money, but it didn't do as well as we thought. And we tried to get Charlie Flippin for the Culture, who's probably listening to this. Guys should follow him on socials. He's a really good guy. But we for some reason he just wouldn't buy any of the stuff we were buying, and the one thing he bought was that one product that didn't end up doing well. Like this is hilarious.
That was funny.
Bad luck.
Like, are you guys still sitting on those units? I still have a ton.
You sold a ton?
No, I still have a ton.
Oh, I have a sell.
Like how many?
I have over
70 something.
Yeah.
I've got like 50, I think.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Shout out Charlie though.
No,
I sales maxed when it was at like 160 range.
That's so
I just sold all of them. It's like 50 units.
I got greedy. I should have done the same thing.
Billy is greedy with his pricing, actually.
I want to squeeze the most out of it that I can. I made some good diamond hand calls throughout December, but I'm happy with my margins this month. Very happy.
Oh, Billy, you called it out like a month before that the price is going to go berserk. And it worked.
You made a ridiculous bag.
I was a legendary cook. Yeah.
Jimmy made a ridiculous bag on those. And I sold through probably 200 units right before they started to spike.
Yeah, that was a legendary cook.
Just because I was horny for a 10K sales day screenshot.
Yeah, dude, it'd be like that sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
But do I regret it? Absolutely not.
I'm not. Yeah, like you get the money back quicker, you redeploy it. There's a ton of buying opportunities right now. Like
tons, dude.
Dude, that one coupon code is just utterly electric. That one that one of the dudes in my coaching program legitimately, like I'd posted in the group like I'm buying on this site. There's just for sake of example, I'm gonna say 50% off code. There's not actually 50% off code. And this dude commented, actually there's a 60% off code right here. So it just made like everything that I almost said yes to like a hell yes. So I've just been going electric on it. It's beautiful. Everyone in there's eating on that.
Yeah, I think Andrew and I are planning on gearing up a nice healthy buying session very, very soon.
Dude, Andrew didn't hit us back in the chat about it.
He's probably with his family. That's actually, I do want to talk about this because I do think it's important throughout the year to, schedule some time to like actually unplug.
No.
No, seriously.
It's hard. It's hard, especially the way we do it 24/7.
Yeah.
Like if you get a call at 11:45, like I'm getting,
you're picking up, like you're picking up.
Yeah.
So,
we've been there.
But what do you guys? I don't enjoy it. Like I struggle like having to take a step back, and I didn't really do it at all. I like half did it, but I think like, what do you guys think that the line is between getting complacent and then actually, is there value in taking a few days off, a week off?
A few days off? No.
Yeah.
I mean, just diversification of what you're doing, right? Go out for a run, get some sun, go for a lift. Just those little things that kind of split up the day make a whale of a difference.
Yeah, you
right?
just
do some sourcing in the morning.
It'll just never be easier than it is today. And like the time goes by fast as hell. So you got to maximize it while it's here. Like this could all go away tomorrow. But the skills, the capital, the network you acquire, that does not leave you.
And if the work you do is your passion, then it's not really work. And my passion is making money. And so I don't really take breaks.
I think if you are going to take a break, to actually do it and not be like panicking and checking your phone and all that stuff. If you feel like you need a break, which is fine, in my opinion, I would say actually commit to it, reset, even if it's just for a day. Take a step back.
I also don't really think the whole social media thing is work at all, right? It's just connecting and talking and just like documenting.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be viewed as work.
Yeah. It's just
I think like the whole merchant fulfill trenches. I mean, that's work, right? I mean, there's no getting around it. That's like yeah. I mean, exactly, right?
Facts. Billy even got a hair. Dude had time to get a haircut too.
Yeah, that's
you were shell shocked those first couple of days. Like
it was literally that one weekend where I didn't have supplies. All it takes, because that was right at the peak moment. It was just
that was probably like this. Well, I'm gonna check the calendar.
One thing that stops the flow will set you back.
Oh yeah, so that was the 9th to the 12th that weekend. Yeah, which is like probably if there were like the 4 biggest days, that would be it. Yeah, I really did ship like 20 FBM orders, and I was like kind of worried about stuff not getting to people, but I knew that because the customer support I was getting was only the orders I knew I accidentally didn't ship. Like I screwed up, so I just refunded everyone. But that's how I knew I was chilling. But there were a ton of issues with label scans. Like I labeled 200 FBM orders and then realized my printer was printing them out with these lines through so that they didn't scan. So I unpackaged everything, which actually only ended up being like 2 extra hours. You just keep a good attitude about like it gets done, kind of like anything. You know what I mean? But like, if that's the worst problem I have that day, like it's fine. But that was like the 17th or yeah.
Miles and Billy, did you guys see a ton of issues with customers complaining they didn't get stuff on time and those sorts of issues? Like my package says delivered, but I don't see it. Those sorts of issues.
I had one lady call me and say,
I just lost an A to Z claim that the tracking shows delivered. I gotta like appeal that or something, because I showed that the tracking showed delivered, but they said there's not enough evidence. What could be more evidence than the tracking number?
Unless Amazon opens a case and makes me respond, I don't look at the buyer messages at all, which is probably bad, but it's like they go away.
Yeah, you should respond. It's moronic to not respond to them. Sure,
Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy has the zone. That right there. So Garrett, what do you think? We'll do like a 2022 recap and then a 2023 I think that's what we did last year. Well, now, but there's a ton of episodes we need to redo too with people that we did last year, earlier this year, and such. That'll be good for sure. What else? Anything else we need to touch on for the Q4 recap? I think the biggest thing was that a lot of the best buying was in Black Friday. Like the best buying was not preparing. Like the best buying was not early November, October, September to sell in December. The best buying was like Black Friday to sell in December.
For me,
and it was so good. Like that week, you simply couldn't leave your laptop. Like it was any moment away from your laptop.
Garrett had wifey checking out. Oh no, that one site.
The past couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, she's just been looping it.
Electric. You were saying, Billy?
Well, for me, I know you guys remember Black Friday. I had some payment issues.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to.
Had to hit up.
Really wasn't able to take advantage of any of that.
All out Amazon Express.
But thankfully, I stayed diligent, found a few leads of my own that did very well that I purchased early December. So I made it work. I didn't panic.
Not the capital you needed. You were resourceful. Yeah.
Most people wouldn't do it. So.
And that's why we talk about, right? The two major bottlenecks of Amazon are sourcing and then capital. Once you have the products, then the money has to be the solution, right? Money, it's 2023, right? Money is everywhere, right? If you can't find money, you're not looking hard enough. Friends, family, uncles, aunts, social media, private, small businesses that, there's so many areas.
Granted, money. I'm getting fleeced by my own boys with interest, but that's all.
Yeah, for anyone who's into credit card churning, Billy needed some capital, so I just got a new business credit card and had Billy do the 15K sign-up bonus. So I doubled the amount of money I was.
And then he still is charging me interest.
Dude, a deal's a deal.
So let's see.
Because I'm smart with the sign-up bonus.
Rip it in the comments. Should I pay the interest or not? We'll leave it up to the people.
Yeah, all out Amazon Express charges a higher interest rate than Flips for Miles Express, actually.
That is true. And G-Body, I might be paying that off early. So
no, there's a prepayment penalty, actually. Check the terms and conditions.
I don't have a document that says
there's a prepayment.
It's all fun and games.
All right, BillyFlips on Amazon. Is it FBA Jimmy or JimmyFBA? I can't remember.
It's either or on Twitter or Instagram.
They're opposites. That's what I thought, because I can never get it right on that. Sweet. All right, cool. Thanks for listening to our first episode back. Make sure you guys go to selleramp.com, get a free trial if you haven't already. Be back with those other episodes coming soon. Thanks for sticking with it. Hope your December was great. Have a great day, kings and queens.
Peace.